Today, God declares, I am the unshakable foundation in your life. I am both the foundation and the capstone. When I finish building myself into you, the angels will cry grace, grace into the myself architecture that I have constructed within you. Others look at you and refuse to legitimize what I'm doing, but don't stare at their faces or dread men's judgments. Allow humility and silence to adorn and beautify you as I guide and transition you to a new purpose and greater blessing than you have ever known. Do you place your trust in me? Let me guide you across the tight passage that lies ahead. Look not to the right or left. Do not check with folks around you to see how you're doing on the assignment. Allow me to guide you with my eyes. Find your approval and peace in my presence, not anything else. Where others perceive a wall, I see an opportunity, and you will be ushered into a position of provision and accomplishment that others only dream about and would never envision you experiencing. I am your safety and advancement, says the Father, and I am delighted to present myself to you now in a fresh way you have never known. God says today that angel recorders have been released into your life. The angel recorders are keeping track of every tear, prayer, and cry in your heart as you seek my help in your sorrow. My voice, says the Father, even my loud voice, with which I am now crying over your life, it is enough. For I will put an end to sorrow, distress, and difficulty. This is who I am and what I do, and I have inscribed El Shaddai on your heart and forehead, for I am more than enough and willing to act on your behalf, says the Father. This is a trusting moment since you are moving and transitioning into the receiving season under my guidance. The Father announces that there will be no more delays. Yes, my son and daughter, I have maintained the vigil of my faithfulness in your life and am bringing to fruition the answer, provision, and shift that you have petitioned for. Look for it, expect it, and hope for it, because your faith is bringing substance to what you need from my hand today. Today, God states that change is not detrimental, rather, it is desirable. If you want something different, you have to do something different. What you do with what I've previously stated is far more powerful than what you expect me to do or say. My kingdom is participatory, not an observation gallery. Religion watches, faith acts. Faith moves onward. Faith takes chances and reaps rewards. What risks are you willing to take to achieve your goals? Cast aside men's foolish notions and false power. When you hit the targets and fulfill the standards they have set for you, they will simply raise the bar and create a whole new set of expectations. According to the Father, you are seated with Christ in heavenly realms. With a man, you never know where you stand since proud males will constantly use your weakness and fragility. I will take your weakness and give you wings in your frailty, causing you to soar into the fulfillment of what I have promised you, even today. The Father says, today, I saw your sacrifice service before me. Others have turned away as if your efforts were little, but that is not my opinion, says the Father. Do not worry about the outcome or achievement, says the Father. The outcome and success are both mine. Let your attention and attentiveness be focused on willingness and obedience. You will eat the good of the land because you are willing and obedient, and the Father says there is goodness in the land for you. The landscape of your life has appeared dismal and barren, yet I am the root that delights in sprouting from your parched ground. So fill your valley of sadness with trenches of expectancy, because what I'm about to pour down will exceed even your wildest expectations. Are you ready? This is in my now time, thus it is your now time. You will relish in the present moment, rather than longing for a distant future. Even today, I will force you to share in the marrow and substance of what others have decided not to believe any longer. Rejoice and be glad, says the Father, for sadness has turned into rejoicing even now. God says, today, I am transforming you from a burden to a blessing. I urge you to make the great relinquishing. I want you to give that situation, person, or problem to me now in total release. Never take it up again. Why would you chafe your shoulders with a load that is not yours to bear? My shoulders are broad and my sinews are strong. Roll those cares over on my back today, and I will carry you to a new level in my spirit. Cast those cares, roll those cares, forsake your cares, and enter the careless realm, where I am caring for you. I care for you, says the Father. It is who I am and what I do. It's yoke easy and burden light time. What I'm saying to you, son and daughter, is take a load off and let me carry and relieve you once and for all in an ongoing, consistent burden-bearing grace. That is the gift of benevolence that I extend to you today, my beloved. God says today, I love you all the way, all the time. My vows do not have gradients or levels of loyalty. I'm going all the way with you today until you get to experience all of my promises. Can you use all to quantify my blessing? I don't work my will with anemic percentages or the dead hand of doubt. I come to you today in full and robust completeness, ready to do complete work in your life. There is no aspect of your life that I am disregarding or overlooking. I see, I know, and I am working even in the darkest recesses of your soul, where you lack the confidence to look or even pray. I am there, says the Father, using the effectiveness of the blood-soaked hyssop of the cross on your behalf. Be encouraged today, says the Father. Be lifted. Be intoxicated by my love and my watchful eye over your life, for I am working, healing, and sparing you, and I will never allow you to be hurt in any manner. God says, let there be a united people in your midst today. Do not allow men with narrow-minded notions to rebuild the middle wall of partition that I demolished on the cross. I reiterate to you that from my throne, I see no distinction between male and female, no segregation, sect, clique, party, or division among you. I despise, I hate, the actions of those who label my people as cattle and count them as commodities and numbers to be contained and spent as a consumable resource. In this day and hour, I am leading my people to a state of liberty. My purposes for today will not allow my people, or you, to be transformed into commodities. You are the apple of my eye, and anybody who touches, reviles, or uses you will be held accountable by my hand, declares your Father. So shake yourself free of the mesmerizing spirit of religion and recover the autonomy of my throne, which is not idle within you, because I am sitting in you and working through you to bring about my purpose and mercy in this new day, says your Father. God says, bring your alabaster oblation today and pour it over my head and feet. Go ahead, says your Father, and offer up your praise, worship, and gift. Will I not accept it? Will not your adoration be the oil that makes my face shine at my Father's right hand? Will my feet not be cleansed if I pour out? You have adored me as head in the heavenly sphere. Now pour down your oblation onto my feet on earth. My feet, as well as the feet of my sons and daughters, are dusty, dry, and bleeding. Will you not wash my feet today? The Father replies that just as you washed the feet of the least of them, you did the same for me. So take your opportunity as you have envisioned and as you have craved that occasion to wash my feet with your tears and wipe them with the hairs of your head. Even so, says the nail-scarred one, and go out now and find my feet on the earth, and as you wash those feet, I will receive your service of worship and capture you and catch you away into a new place of intimacy and experience of my fullness. For it is my heart and my pleasure to give place to those with the heart of humility. Today, the Father says, I am washing you. The Father responds, I am the cleansing you need, seek no other remedy. I am the cleaning and refreshing you require another resource. I am who I am, and I am soaking you in my I amness even today. I am with and in you, heart to heart, spirit to spirit. This day, cast yourself adrift in the streams of my compassion and be cleansed by my grace. No more contamination, no more cries of unclean, unclean. You have now been cleaned, washed, and set free by the waters of the Word, as well as the words I say to and into you today. The Father responds, I give you permission to be forever changed. I offer you free to develop into the fullness of Christ, by which I am seated in the heavenly regions I in you, just as you are I in me. So go ahead, says the Father, and exult in the torrents of kindness that are flowing over you right now. Be immersed, yes, bathed in kindness, and rise with a river of mercy streaming from your belly to all those around you who are burdened by shame and sin, including those who are captives of past regret and failure. Be a conduit of mercy to others right now, and give them freely the full and flowing love that I am so generously saturating you with today. God says today that you are blessed to go out and come in. Your very movements summon my presence and favor. The angels assigned to you plan their days based on the smallest changes in your schedule and activities. My blessing to you is more than just good wishes or religious emotions. My blessing in your life is that you will flourish and prevail in all circumstances and situations. I am with you, declares the Father. I am with you and for you. I am on your side in everything, including decisions you would have made differently if you had listened to me. I carried the reproaches against you 2,000 years ago and still carry them today, but I would rather that you listen. I fully accept you, says the Father. I welcome you without reservation as my beloved, and you are entitled to all the kingdom benefits of being my beloved, yet, my approval is another issue. Acceptance is unconditional, but approval has to be earned. Take the yoke of my approval and learn my methods, modeling yourself after my thoughts and intentions. I'm growing you to be a loving son who reflects my character, not immaturity or folly. Listen to my voice as it echoes in the silence between your thoughts. Be still and know, and in the knowing, take on my nature, not only enjoying my favor but also manifesting my character in all your encounters today. The Father says today that my grace in your life has an enriching effect in ways you haven't considered. I enjoy showing you my love in unique, strange, and uncommon ways. Expect me to show up in your life today and do the remarkable in routine situations that some people mistakenly believe I am uninterested in. Know this, says the Father, I keep track of every hair on your head and every cell in your body. I mark your organs and limbs for blessing and benefit with my touch. I dig through your drawers and balance your bank accounts. I know every piece of clothing and when you last wore it. I am passionate, willing, and working right now to demonstrate my unique, remarkable grace on your behalf, my beloved. I am your source and increase. I am keeping your stuff in the same way that the Israelites' shoes did not wear out in the wilderness. They will inquire about your maintenance schedule and the products you use, and you will laugh and say, it is the product line of Jehovah Jireh, for he cares for me in ways that are incalculable to appreciate. In the stressed out, fear-driven culture around you, I am bringing you to rest and favor as a sign and a wonder. They will notice the perpetual smile on your face and will want to know who your Papa is and how to get to know him. The Father declares today that you are my declared inheritor. Say this and know that it is your portion from my hand. You have inherited the blessings that were given to Abraham. I will bless those who bless you, but I will expel those from your life who attempt to belittle you in any way. I will bless you as you come and go in all of your affairs today, so expect and trust that I am ahead of you to address all of your issues. You see, says the Father, you are the inheritor of Christ's claims acquired via his blameless life and vicarious death. The cross's killing was about more than only eliminating sin, misery, sickness, and starvation. The death of the cross released a covenantal impartation to you on a personal basis that was designed to completely revolutionize your life. I have imprinted the spiritual genetics of my completeness, lordship, and authority on your whole existence. You are the bone of my bone, created in my likeness, as I stated in my word. Today, God states that His blessing is all-inclusive. I will bless both your good and bad actions. My blessing is upon everything you do, just as I promised in my word. My blessing is not just a spiritual one, as some believe. My blessing encompasses all aspects of your life, from the temporal to the eternity. Even while sin causes decay, being in my kingdom leads to blessing, success, and outcome. I place no value on human suffering because it was completely alleviated at the cross. Men with restricted brains and unbelieving hearts have distorted my goals, declares the Father. Sickness, disease, hunger, deprivation, and suffering were all fully paid for on the cross. Exercise your confidence in my promise, and I guarantee that you will receive the full benefit of all that Calvary offers. This was the blessing ratified by the law and completely extended to you by grace in the new covenant, which was sealed with the blood of my beloved Son. So expect the blessing and anticipate my favor, and know that it is a gift that I will never take away from you as you surrender to my unconditional love daily. Today, God states that enrolling in the school of the Spirit is like earning an advanced degree in the law of love. The law of love takes you back to the origins of the rule of sowing and reaping, since love is who I am. The Father says that as you step into love, you also step into me. When you respond in love, you dress yourself in my person, and my fullness wraps around you like a mantle. Depth in my spirit does not come from a charter membership in the Deeper Life Club. According to the Father, the location where deep appeals to deep is where some having compassion are making a difference. I've called you to give up your position and entitlement so that you can have influence and power over an orphan generation who doesn't know who their father is. I commission you today to display unconditional love with no strings attached that never falters or fails. Refuse distractions from tiny brains and cold hearts. Allow me to go out via your heart to establish my paternity in a downtrodden and marginalized community. This is my plan, and you are serving it by aligning yourself with the beat of my heart today. Today, the Father says to drink from your cistern. The resources of breakthrough, change, restoration, and healing are available to you today. My strength and power come from inside, rather than being dependent on others. Outward and alien resources are finite, and they will run out before your deliverance is complete. The rivers of life I have put inside you, on the other hand, are untappable and cannot be depleted regardless of the depth of your need. My spirit streams do not flow down from an external point, says your Father. The springs of living water burst out of you in full force, inundating, refreshing, and reshaping your entire being. Say to the streams, spring up. Say to the refreshing within you, spring forth. Call on the river of living water that I placed within you today, and that powerful stream will pour out and transform the entire landscape of your life for your benefit and my glory. The Father says you are fortunate today in both the city and the field. Exercise yourself to gain dominance. The soles of your feet and the treads of your tires delineate the authority of your home and the limits of your blessing. Ask me, and I will give you the wealth of the heathen as an inheritance. I am not constrained by the grasping, greedy intentions of men and women consumed by self-interest. Know this, says the Father, money, riches, and favor are all moved by my Spirit. As you go my Spirit will bring you prosperity. You are not called to be a reservoir of insecurity, but rather a flowing resource that distributes this world's goods to meet the needs of my kingdom mandate. So today, prepare yourself for blessing rather than blight, says the Father. Put your hand to the task and give out of yourself. Choose not to follow the lead of those who hold back this world's goods to their detriment. Grasping and clinging to your few and meager resources will not prepare you for the day ahead. Allow your joy to be full, for I will nourish your bones in good times and support you in bad. Learn to be independent of your circumstances by relying on me and rejecting the territorial, selfish attitudes of individuals infected with the spirit of poverty. I have come so that you may have life and life more abundantly, which does not occur under the rigors of grinding poverty and lack. Receive your abundance now, says the Father, it is your portion. God says today that if you choose to be a water walker, unexpected events will become a regular occurrence in your life. It is time to set aside your expectations of what I might do in your life and prepare for what I will do. I am not bound in my actions by the dust-choked opinions of religious mentalities, says the Father. I can and will do anything I want, whenever I want, without consulting anyone. The person who declares, God will not do thus and so, is not correctly revealing my character, but rather their ignorance. I love you, says the Father. My love for you necessitated the cross, and the cross defined the lengths I was willing to travel to free you and release you from the domain of darkness and into the kingdom of light. Take no notice to those who say I will not, or cannot, for my love constrains me, and I have already proved in the shed blood the lengths my love will go to bless, favor, empower, and free you from every limitation of life and every assault of the dark one. So rejoice in anticipation of my unexpected favor, which is appearing in your life to change, restore, and surprise even you, oh my darling. God says today that my benefits are pursuing you. My favor and blessing are neither elusive nor unachievable. My benefits tend toward my glory, and my glory is in you. The blessing that came to Abraham and changed the course of history is pursuing you and will continue to leave its mark on your life. You are not distant from me because the blood of the cross has bound you close to me in unbreakable ties. Because you are in me, you are both adored and fortunate. Do not be discouraged by circumstances or events since they are prone to change, but my promise will last forever. Your heart is the anchor point for my blessings, and they are engulfing you with persistence. Some individuals claim to know who I will and will not bless, but they are not in authority, says the Father. I reign on both the just and the unjust, so even if you remove yourself from my goodness due to shame and guilt, I include you and refresh your mercy every morning on your behalf. So do not worry, says the Father, nor be discouraged. I can do whatever I want whenever I want, without having to check with anyone. You are blessed by your Father, and I announce that today is a day of favor in your life. God declares today, I have seated you in the highest places of the earth. You are a principality and a powerhouse. You have authority over the planet, which my hand secures. I say to you now, open your lips wide and speak, for your words carry weight in the heavens. If you say so, Father, I will do it. If you don't say it, I will not do it. You are an integral part of the process by which I move, act, supply, and provide, even in your daily life. Lay away your victim attitude, says the Father, and take on the mantle of a conqueror. Persist. Prevail. Refuse to relent or retreat, for my spirit takes no delight in retreating. Press in and receive the full measure of your portion from my throne. I have given you power in my kingdom, and you are now seated in the celestial regions at my right hand. This is not a someday idea. It is a now reality purchased for you via the shed blood of Calvary. Rejoice, says the Father, rejoice and be glad, for the Lord's day is one of liberty, and this is that day for you. Today, God declares that suffering, sadness, need, and scarcity will not be your share. I bore the whole weight of these deprivations on the cross so that you could be free of them. There is no disease, poverty, or rejection for which I did not suffer to the fullest extent on the cross. I was nailed to the tree to alleviate the issues in your life. When the adversary attacks you, make it your mission to ensure that the prince of this world has no place in your life. Say in your heart, I will not submit to the domain of darkness. When the enemy roars at you, the Father responds, roar back. The scripture cannot be broken. If you resist the devil, he will flee. If the enemy were able to defeat your resistance, the guarantee of my word would be meaningless. Understand that I have armed and armored you. I've told you my name and the efficacy of the blood that was shed. Make full use of this spiritual armament. Refuse to accept one setback or decline. Lean on my grace, for I am aware of your inadequacies. I considered your weakness when I stated you are a conqueror. You are far more than a conqueror. You're my entitled child. God says, today is a new day for you. Take out your quill of faith and pen your promise. The default answer to your heart's plea is yes, says the Father. I am not an austere, distant patriarch. I am your Abba Father in the present now. Calvary's agony was the price I paid for having off-the-charts intimacy with you in the moment, rather than just an occasional cathartic emotional release. There is no human-made measurement that can fathom the depths or describe the bounds of my love for you. Today's assignment is to be liked. Your task for today is to go out and be cherished. Go ahead, says the Father. Find out the parameters of my love. I dare you to be cherished today. I challenge you to discover the limitations of my love. They are beyond your ability to cross or escape. The Father says He has loved you and will continue to love you. I will love you no matter what, because I have loved you from the beginning of time. Celebrate that love today. Receive it as the fruit of my compassion for you, and let it refresh and bring you to rest, even the profound release of rest that confirms beyond all doubt that you are my beloved one. God says today, I will meet you in the way, and you will be forever changed. When Jacob traveled to confront his brother Esau, he had an encounter that turned him from a heel-grabbing charlatan to a prince among men. Do not be distracted by the current stresses of life. Know this, says your Father, that I will meet you along the journey and transform you. I will transform you from within, such that even your sworn opponents will want peace with you. You see, says the Father, I will save you from yourself and imprint the image of my character and spirit on you. It will be spoken of you as it was of the disciples of old. They took knowledge of them that they had been with Jesus. The aroma of Christ will replace the smell of the flesh, which you formerly despised in yourselves. Your life and character will become incense of worship to which even the angels will bow, for the Father has discovered in your heart a pleasant-smelling savor of fidelity and passion for my face, my throne, and my kingdom. God says today, receive of my superabundance. The wealth of the wayward is laid up, and their lifestyles reflect a complete comprehension of my ways. The ungodly ridicule my actions. The upright understand my ways and prospers. When I descended into the earth, I dressed myself with weakness to reflect my Father's magnificence. The same grandeur is available to you today. Dress yourself in the I am-ness of my fullness. Speak into the darkness and say, light be. Look into the pandemonium and say, kingdom come. For I have given you my power and anointing, so that you may rule over the earth as new creations from my Father's hand. I have given you the Zoe life of the Father so that you can exhibit my glory. I've empowered you with my love and crowned you with my favor. Go forth into your day, challenge the darkness, and behold my splendor shone. You are my lamp, and I will shower you with my light and effulgence. You are my diadem and scepter, and I shall wield them against the tyrant. Take my Father's whole armor and know it as your supply, protection, and promotion, while the banner of Jehovah Nissi waves over you in glory, proclaiming the end of triumph, liberty, and deliverance in your life. God says to sons and daughters today, open your eyes and hearts to greater blessings and higher callings. Do not let the routine aspects of life cut your wings or take your joy. Trials and hardships have an end. Trials and struggles will exhaust themselves and come to an end because the energy that propels them comes not from my throne, but from the world of darkness. You will not be shackled because I have pronounced life over you and life in plenty. I'm reaching out today to that guarded area within you where you've hoped against hope that things would be different than they are. I am bringing you new life, hope, and joy. I am putting you on an ascension path as a result of deprivation, struggle, and tongue strife. Human limitations and past regrets will not determine your life or personality. My promise, presence, provision, and protection will define your life, and they are already being released as a canopy of favor over you in complete measure today. God says, allow generosity of spirit to flow through you today like water. I live on the inside of you. Please allow me to move through you and into others. Love unconditionally. Give liberally. Forgive unreasonably. Love, give, and forgive until your love offends the narrow-minded, religious teachers whose love has turned cold. Reach out to people who are underserved and have not reciprocated your love. Let your testimony to them be, I will love you, and there is nothing you can do about it. This is the audacity of love, says the Father. Men can impose restrictions and constraints on you, but the essence of love is to break free and flow to the lowest common denominator of relationship and expectation. Love has its spiritual topography that excludes failure and defeat. So send all of your hopes, dreams, and prayers to the geography of love, where faith's full measure spontaneously lends substance to every vision and dream conceived in your heart by my incorruptible seed. God asks today, would you rather have peace or understanding? You cannot have both. My thoughts and mind are not the same as yours. Allow my calm to guide you to places that human intellect cannot go. You must submit your thinking to the authority of your human spirit, for I live in your heart and rule via your spirit. Turn away from mental conjecture and skepticism and embrace my splendor. My greatness resides in your spirit, man, and I will meet your needs today with the treasures contained therein. This day, I grant you the serenity that surpasses understanding. This day, signs, miracles, and wonders are yours. I promised in my word that you would go with gladness and be led forth in peace. Let this be your next word today. My joy is your portion and your ongoing initiative. As long as you focus your attention on me, you will never lose the fullness of my joy. I am not willing to let you live without joy. Open your heart to joy, and see it as the prelude to all answered prayers and petitions. God says today, make it your goal to never live below your privileges in my kingdom. The blood of the cross entitles, allows, and empowers you to live your life with a regular pattern of winning. Weakness is not your strength. Failure is not your portion. Out of the wilderness of hardship and difficulties, I will bring deliverers from Zion. There is room for you on that roll call of the faithful. You will call on me, and I will say, here I am. You will decree something, and it will appear before you and be established. The enemy will be unable to deprive you of my character, holiness, or favor. Set your expectations higher, says the Father. Don't undervalue yourself or your experience with me. Refuse to rationalize away your blessings or the fullness of my stature that you are meant to walk in. God says to work while it is day, since the night will come when no man can work. There is a time to locate a quiet space within yourself and wait for the dust to settle. All flesh is like dust. When sinful flesh arises to challenge, your first response should be to look to the throne. The enemy's diversions will always work to divert your attention away from my face, declares the Father. Make it your mission to gaze to the throne even when the enemy descends on you with falsehoods, threats, and tyranny. I am your defense and shield. When you choose to gaze to me and avoid distractions, the enemy's schemes only serve to assist his demise rather than your destruction. Go ahead and seek the kingdom, says the Father. Go ahead and wait for me. Allow me to guide you with my eyes. As you look to me, I will allow the winds and waves to subside and the storms of men and devils to cease on your behalf. As you trust me, I will bring the urgency of my deliverance into your circumstance and set you in a position from which you will not be pushed or disturbed in any way. Trust in my faithfulness and my established word. I will never disappoint you, and my promises will never overdraw the bank of heaven on your behalf.